Welcome back. So now that we've done a very simple hello world, let's try and do something a bit more complex. I want to kind of go and grab all the different products inside my Firestore database and send those back instead. So let's start out with just rename this guy and call him products instead. So it'll be /products just to start somewhere. I'll send a request right here. Now the response, I need to change that. I need to somehow get the products JSON, right? So I'll get the products from the database as JSON, right? That's kind of my goal right here, to get the products from Firestore as JSON. How do we do that? Well, the first thing we need to do is import an admin module. The admin module is what we use to contact our Firebase database. And remember, all of this is pushed to the backend, so we don't need to set up any security here because the backend will know itself how to log in this specific project. That's pretty amazing. Let me show you what we have to do. So the first step right here is I'm going to import a new library right here. This guy, the admin from the Firebase admin. That's the guy who can access storage, who can access your anything you have in Firebase. Auth, it can access your Firestore, your real-time database. It can access everything. So we need to get that to get started. The second step is that we need to ask the admin to initialize the app. Now this is kind of setting up a lot of things that we need to use to start really diving into the different projects. So that's kind of how we need to start this. Okay, so now we're at this point. How do we actually get access from that admin app? How do we get access to our actual Firebase Firestore? Well, it's very simple. I'll just say admin dot and I'll say Firestore parentheses dot, and here we go. Here's the collection. So you'll notice it's kind of the same idea that we have in Angular Fire 2 if you've watched the last series. So now I can start getting into the collection right here, and I want to get the collection of products in my case. Right? And then I kind of have that available now. What else can I do? Then I can say get, and I'll get a snapshot of this to kind of get all of my different areas right here. There's also one called list documents that returns some kind of promise with a document reference. We can try both of them, but let's just try and find the best one. We can see on snapshot change is also available. That's the one you also used before, right? Etc. etc. So there are some different possibilities here. On snapshot changes will keep giving me the event. We don't need that. We just need a single trigger. So let's not do that right now. What we'll do actually is we'll try and do the get right here and see what we're getting from that. So we'll do the get, and that's a promise. And we'll try and say when we get that, then I want to do something. Hopefully I get a list of products right here. I want to take the list of products and do something with that list. But what are we actually getting? Well, here let's just try and do a console log and just print those products. Right? See what we're getting back. And I'll just ship this now just to show you guys how simple it actually was to get to the point that we actually talk now to Firestore, get the list of products. I don't know what we're getting right here. It's a query snapshot something, so we'll have to figure that out. That's not the goal. You'll notice right away we get some errors right here. Let's try and check them out. What's going wrong? So right here you can see it's something about promises must be handled appropriately right here. This guy. Now that's okay. That's because I'm actually doing it then right here, but I'm never doing the catch. So let's just add the catch to say if something goes wrong, I'm getting an error back. I'm just going to console log that error, see if that's enough for now. There we go. Now we've kind of handled the promise. One more thing I want to do, I want to move the response right here inside so I know that it won't respond until the products have actually been loaded. And there we go. So now we should have something that should actually work right here. Let's just try again to do the deploy. Firebase deploy. Let's see what happens. Again, notice it just tried to help me out right here, TSLint. It's not to be annoying or anything, but of course we should handle our catch. It makes sense, right? It's just dumb not to do something. And it seemed that was it. We just need to add that, and now it actually does deploy for us. So it wasn't a big thing. It was just important for TSLint that we actually handle our then catch clause right here. So at least we get some kind of indication if something goes wrong. The final thing is it asked me, do you want to overwrite? Because I changed the name right here from being hello world into products. It kind of asked me, are you sure you want to do this directly? It'll delete the hello world up there, the function, the old one, and add this products. And it just warns me it might go wrong. But in my case, there's nothing dangerous in my code, so I'll just say yes. So it seems that we are now deployed. Let's try and jump into Postman and just do the get request. Right here actually was the get request, so let's just try and fire that with products this time. See if we get something back. Hello from Firebase, and notice there's no difference here at all yet, but let's try and go and check the logs if we actually got some extra logs in here, because we now actually tried to connect to the database, right? So let's see right here we got the different logs. the logs pops up right here. Now sometimes it might be delayed, but here they go, and it says I got some kind of query snapshot here, so we can probably use that. But I know I have access, and I know I got something back, right? I just need to now, in the next lesson, we'll figure out how to actually make this data into JSON and return it, and that's all we have to do. Then we have access to our database, right? That's very, very simple way to get access. Pretty much just these two lines right here. Then I have access to Firestore, and I can start using it for working with my collections. So that's it for this lesson. See you next time. Have fun.